Hey, good morning, everybody. Afternoon, rather. How you all doing? Y'all know who this is. This your boy, Rob Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Yeah, today is March 21st, 2020, and we're going to be talking about a couple of issues that they're not talking about. Hey, what's going on, my brother? How you doing this afternoon, man? May you be blessed and have a prosperous day. We're going to talk about a couple of issues that are not being talked about in the mainstream media. As you can look in the title section, we're going to be talking about the swarm of locusts that's going on over in Africa and the Middle East, and why it's actually just as devastating as this coronavirus. We also going to be talking about surveillance state, the police state, under the guise of this coronavirus. They're doing just like they did in 9/11, man. They're going back and they're passing laws that will allow them to spy on you even more. They're using this this virus, to take away more of your personal privacy and more of your personal rights. We also want to talk about, there's been a lot said about martial law being implemented behind this virus. So without further ado, we're gonna get into this. Now, y'all gotta bear with me, man, because I'm trying to work off two phones right now. I thank God for Wi-Fi, because other than that, we wouldn't be able to bring y'all this show. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna start off first and foremost. We're gonna talk about it like this. Now, I'm not a religious person at all. I do believe in a creator. I do believe that we were created by some beings, and I do believe in scriptures. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not a Bible thumper. I read the Bible. I read the Quran. I read the Torah. I read the Maharatu. I read the Veda from the Hindu. I read all religious texts, because these texts do have relevance in our day-to-day lives. One of the main topics I'm interested in when I read these scriptures is the prophetical part of the scriptures. Now, we got a lot of people running around here talking about the last days. We're in the last days. Now, believe it or not, they've been saying we've been in the last days for almost 2,000 years now. And guess what? Every day still comes around and everything is still the same. But we are witnessing events now that has never happened before at the magnitude that they have happened in human history, meaning that all these things are coming together now to form a perfect soup for us to see that something is being shaken up in the world. The world is being shaken to its foundation. Now, we want to ask that if y'all watching this video, man, hit that thumbs up button, man. Hit the like button if you like what we're saying. Even if you don't like what we're saying, hit the thumbs down button. But once you hit those buttons, it helps us get more and more people to come to this video that we're doing. And also, we really value your comments. Your comments help keeps us going as far as giving us questions to answer. So we're gonna start off now. We're gonna talk about something again that they're not talking about in the mainstream media. All the focus is on the coronavirus, especially now that it's here in the United States. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth how, a little bit later on, how this virus got started. Because you have Donald Trump calling it the Chinese virus, when in reality, all evidence point to this virus coming from the Western Hemisphere, either the United States or Canada. This is where this virus was first detected. Notice, now again, we always say coronavirus. Coronavirus is just a generic term for different types of virus, different types of the same strain of virus. Meaning you got H1N1, you got SARS, you got avian flu, which is the bird flu. Then you got swine flu, plus many other specific viruses that are labeled under coronavirus. But it's something that's happening overseas that's just as big as this coronavirus that they're not telling us about. And that's this plague of locusts over in Africa and the Middle East. Now, you all might be saying, how could a plague of locusts be more important than the coronavirus when the coronavirus is killing people? Well, you have to understand that locusts eat crops. They eat food supplies. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read this article real fast, and then we'll go ahead and elaborate on it a little bit more. I was supposed to have did this video yesterday, but my puppy at the time we was scheduled to do the video. My dog had her puppies. Hey, what's going on, Anthony? Anthony, the nation deserves everything has coming to them. Exactly, you kind of right, man, because they say Malcolm X say the chickens have come home to roost. America is one of the most evil. I put it like this: the American government, the people who form our government, are some of the most evil people on the planet, man. You got to realize all these illegal wars overseas that they are killing millions of innocent people, man, in these illegal wars in a quest to colonize other countries to take their natural resources. So yeah, if you believe in karma, America is getting what they deserve. You see what I'm saying? And we haven't seen the least of it yet, because again, this virus, I believe, was a product of some kind of biological manipulation, and it has basically backfired on the United States. But again, y'all, we need y'all to hit the thumbs up button. But let me read this article. It's coming from the National, which is a reputable. Let me see. Salute. What's going on, D? My brother D, how's it going? Anthony May said, yeah, Anthony May. And who else? Let me y'all got to pay attention, man. We the broke version of the news. We don't have all the sponsors or equipment that a regular news station, or a news source would have. But we got information, knowledge, and wisdom and understanding. So let me go ahead and read this to y'all real quick, and then we're gonna jump in and ask the question: is this a sign of the last days? Now, this here is in reference to the plague of locusts. Again, they're not telling you about this on the national news, your mainstream news sources. But this plague of locusts is just as worse as this virus, because now you're talking about hundreds of millions of people who are going to possibly face starvation over the next coming months, because these locusts have multiplied to in the numbers of billions. And if they're not brought under control within the next few weeks, you're going to see hundreds of trillions of locusts devouring crops in Africa and the Middle East. Now, let me go ahead and read this. Red Sea locust swarms spark UN warning for the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Massive swarm of locusts are bearing down on Saudi Arabia and Egypt as they spread rapidly along the shores of the Red Sea, the United Nations has warned. Breeding along the coast of Eritrea and Sudan, the swarms are spreading farther afield, with the last one having crossed over the Red Sea to Saudi Arabia in mid-January, and more a week later. Swarms also went north along the Red Sea towards Egypt. In January, Abu Dhabi's al-Dhafariya area was covered in a cloud of flying insects. The United Nations is calling on countries to fight in the flight path to step up vigilance and take precautions. Good rains along the Red Sea coastal plains in Eritrea and Sudan have allowed 2 generations of breeding since October, leading to a substantial increase in locust population and the formations of highly mobile swarms. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization said on Friday, adult locusts can eat their body weight in fresh vegetation every day, and the FAO warned that even a small swarm can eat enough food for 35,000 people in just 24 hours. Think about what they said. These locusts of one small swarm can eat enough food that would supply 35,000 people, and they could eat that in just 24 hours. A female locust is able to lay around 300 eggs in her short life, meaning swarms can measure miles wide and be made up to hundreds of millions of individuals. They can strip the land bare as they fly through. Tackling swarms is also made difficult because of they are highly mobile and able to fly up to 150 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles. I think it's almost double, so we're just going to say almost 80 miles a day. The FAO is planning to hold a meeting in Jordan next week to discuss measures to tackle the spread and how to assist affected countries. The devastating impact of locusts can have on crops poses a major threat to food security, especially in already vulnerable areas, the FAO said. The issue of higher breeding is not only confined to Eritrea and Sudan. Rains from Cyclone Miniku in May and Luban in last October triggered a mass breeding of locusts in Saudi Arabia's empty quarter near the Yemen-Oman border. Hatching was also recorded around the villages of Tuwai and Mashura, southwest of Medina, on the kingdom's west coast. The United Nations agency said a few swarms from 2 generations of breeding have reached the United Arab Emirates and is so as far as southern Iran. However, with no signs of slowing, swarms could reach the Indian-Pakistan border if unchecked. The next 3 months will be critical to bringing the locust situation under control before summer breeding starts, said Keith Cressman of the FAO Senior Forecasting Officer. The further spread of the outbreak depends on 2 major factors: effective control and monitoring measures in locust breeding areas of Sudan, Eritrea, and Saudi Arabia, and the surrounding countries, and rainfall intensity between March and May along both sides of the Red Sea and in the interior of the Arabian Peninsula. Aerial spraying and ground control operations have already taken place across Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Egypt, and Eritrea. So far, nearly 85,000 hectares, about 8.5 times the area of Dubai Island, has been treated since December, 30,000 hectares in the past 2 weeks alone. Control measures are also underway in Iran after at least 1 swarm arrived on the southern coast at the end of January. The outlook for February is that breeding will continue along the Red Sea coast, leading to more hopper bands and adult swarms. Now we're going to end, y'all excuse me, man. It's kind of chilly out here in Shreveport, Louisiana, so my nose is kind of running. But anyway, let me show y'all some real game. Now, they're not telling you that a great portion of Africa is going to be threatened with food shortages. Now, we already know that in Africa, there's always been famine, and hunger because of severe drought. But you have a plague of locusts. And again, what happened was due to 2 different cyclones. We call them hurricanes in America, but over there, overseas, they're called cyclones. You had 2 cyclones to come in, and you had unusually heavy rain over in the Red Sea area. Now, locusts thrive on wet, moist conditions. And what happened during the time that they were breeding with these hurricanes, with these cyclones, and all that rain, it made a perfect condition for the perfect swarm to take place. Now what you have is tens of millions of, billions of locusts that are flying through the whole portion of Africa, Ethiopia, Sudan, Egypt, and all these countries on the eastern part of Africa, who are now seeing locusts destroying crops. They say one little small swarm can destroy enough crops in one day that can feed 35,000 people for a matter of days or weeks. Because think about it, if you got a crop, you can feed 35,000 people for a month. These locusts are devouring these crops in a day. And they're spreading now toward from Africa. Now they're reaching the Middle East. So why are they not talking about this? Of course, they don't give a fuck about, excuse my language, they don't give a crap about Africa. Africa is one of the poorest continents. Keep in mind, Africa is not a country. It's a continent filled with other countries. But they are black people who are poor. So do you think your mainstream media gives a damn about those people? When in reality, you're talking about more people suffering hunger and a possibility of starvation than all the people who have died thus far from the coronavirus, from COVID-19. It's crazy that you're not hearing about this. But this leads us to ask the question, are the people who, the Bible-thumping people, right, when they say we're in the last days? Now, again, I'm not a religious person, but I do believe we are seeing some of the ancient prophecies, not just from the Bible, but from throughout human history, coming to pass in our generation. And again, you look at this. All right, we're going to go and use the scriptures. We're going to use Revelation where it talks about how 1/4 of mankind is going to die in these last days, quote unquote last days, due to famine. 1/4 of mankind is going to die due to war. And 1/4 of mankind is going to die through pestilence. All right, well, with the famine, this is where the locusts come in. Because you are looking at a swarm of locusts that are about to destroy, 3/4 of the food supply for Africa. This is literally what's going on, but you're not hearing about it because they have us so focused on this coronavirus or the COVID-19 virus that they're not giving a crap about what's going on in Africa. Now, the danger of what's going on in Africa is also magnified because in order to combat these locusts, they're spraying pesticides to try to kill them. But guess what these pesticides are going to wind up? In whatever food supply is left that the locusts don't destroy, everything is going to be contaminated because now they're spraying these highly toxic pesticides on these crops. And that means when people eat whatever's left, whatever does grow, these people are being poisoned by the pesticides. So this swarm of locusts is just as destructive and detrimental to human existence as this coronavirus, as COVID-19. Now, we have to ask the question again. When we look at all the wars, we look at all the famines, and then when the Bible say that 1/4 are going to be killed by the beast of the field, again, it was not talking about lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. No, it was talking about viruses, which leads us to the next portion, getting back to the COVID-19 virus. First of all, before we talk about the numbers and all that, let me show you all how they're using this virus to restrict your rights, your freedoms, and take away your personal privacy. Do you all realize right now, under the guise of this virus, your government are passing laws to basically monitor your every movement? Do you all realize right now, if you go on Facebook, my Facebook account has been suspended for 30 days for simply talking about the COVID virus in real terms. When I say in real terms, I mean, I'm not using government talking points or government approved talking points. We're asking serious questions, which is what they do not want us to do. Notice they passed a law. Dang, I can't. I have to pull it up. They just recently passed a law which now allows your government to track you in real time through your cell phones. I'll put the links up to this video, to that article, to countless of articles that'll show you, because I gotta wait till I finish this video to put it up in the description section. But yes, they're passing laws now which will allow them to monitor you in real time, basically using your phone to track you. I mean, Israel is right now is leading the push for tracking of its citizens, and the United States has followed suit. Also, you pay attention. to what is happening with the military. Matter of fact, let me read this one article. Let me see if I can pull it up, where they're debating on the role of the military, how they're going to use the military to quote unquote help fight the spread of this virus. How can the military fight the spread of the virus? They really can't. All they can do is enforce quarantines, which in a sense is a form of martial law. Let me show y'all something. Do you all realize here in America, we live in what's called a police state, meaning your every move is already being tracked. They are now, with the new laws that they're passing, scanning your emails, scanning your Facebook posts, scanning your Google searches right now in real time. And if you are posting something on Facebook, instantly they're scanning your Facebook post. And if you say anything counter to the government's narrative about coronavirus, they're suspending your Facebook account. I am a witness to that, because here in Freeport the other day, now you're supposed to be social distancing yourself, and we're supposed to be somewhat under a voluntary quarantine. But we had a bunch of youngsters at a grocery store here out there in their cars doing donuts. The police came along and sat them down, and one of my partners streamed it live of what was happening. And in a sense, I made a joke. And I say, these little youngsters, they need a good dose of the coronavirus. Maybe they will, come to their senses. And, Facebook blocked my whole account for just making that comment. It wasn't nothing malicious that I said, but it was what I said about the coronavirus. They do not want anybody right now putting out any information that is counter to the propaganda government narrative that is being put out. I'm going to be real. Your government is spinning propaganda, y'all. We know for a fact that this virus did not start in China. The odds and the facts are pointing to this virus coming from United States sponsored biological factory up in Canada or here in America. The virus actually started over here, you all. It was not China where the virus originated. And anybody that speaks against that, speaks against the government narrative is going to be censored in real time, whether it be on Facebook, Google, or even YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I am a witness to that, because again, they suspended my whole Facebook account just on one comment alone. I want to, what was it that I was looking up? We're going to talk about the government. Hold on. We're going to talk about the government response. Hold on, I'm trying to find this. The Department of Justice seeks a new emergency power to detain people indefinitely without trial. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the article where the military role is about to be widened. Basically, the military is going to be called upon eventually to help enforce quarantines. They're going to be called upon to create hospitals and all that. But most importantly, pay attention to what they're doing with the National Guard around the country. Because see, first of all, under the Posse Comitatus, the United States military is not allowed to operate inside the United States for fear of a hostile takeover. Believe it or not, one article of the United States Constitution strictly forbids the United States military from holding any kind of operations inside of our country. So this is why they created the National Guard. The National Guard is somewhat a separate entity from the federal United States military, but the the National Guard can be federalized under certain acts. Now again, what they're doing, pay attention. Like here in Louisiana, here in Freeport, my city in particular, we are seeing the National Guard being positioned throughout the city. And they're saying that they are just doing routine drills, practicing drills for what might come. But if it's that deep, you know what I'm saying, that they have pre-existing knowledge that something so deep might happen that we have to have the National Guard, That leads us to ask questions. What's really going on? What do they know and what are they not telling us? Again, now they're saying that the United States Navy is about to deploy 2 medical ships. They're saying that the Corps of Engineers, the Military Corps of Engineers, are being called upon to help plan field hospitals and help to, I guess you could say, participate in medical operations. But all these things literally are being implemented on the cool to help clamp down so that when they declare a national quarantine, your military is going to be used to help enforce that quarantine. It's crazy what's going on, man, and it's real deep. Again, when I say you live in a police state already and martial law is quickly to follow, you have to understand, you live in a police state. Everywhere you go, there's a camera. They're tracking your every move already. You know what I'm saying? Be it through the internet or just your geolocation. When you have your phone location enabled, do you realize they can track you anywhere? Anywhere you go in real time. So this is what's happening right now. Let me go and try to read some of you all's comments on this subject. Y'all gotta bear with me, man, because like I say, we the broke version of the you. We had to do the new. We had to do everything, you know what I'm saying, the ghetto way. And I got 2 phones, and none of them really work, y'all. But let me see what you all are saying on here, because I got to read you all comments from here. Anthony May, poorest countries in the world with the greatest resources under their feet. Talking about Africa, yes, sir. Good morning, Miss Hernandez. Dat Wayne, good morning, my brother. Anthony May, the nation deserves everything it gets. What's up, brother, from Denison, Texas? What's up, Had Not? Hey, son. Hey, man, I appreciate you all following and commenting. Hey, Miss Kimberly Williams, how you doing? Anthony Watson, good morning, my brother. Good morning to you also. Hello, AH, how y'all doing? We're talking about, again, your government using this outbreak of the virus to clamp down and take away more and more of your rights. Now, remember under 911, when after 9/11 happened, they created the Patriot Act. Under the Patriot Act, that gave the United States government legal means to surveil you in every way, to take away your privacy. This is what they're going to do with this here. Let me hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see something, y'all. I want to show y'all how they can use under, I forget what act it was. Hold on. Y'all give me a second. Hold on. Let me try this. Let me see if I can pull it up. But do you know under an emergency, medical emergency, they can declare martial law? Hold on. What act gives the United States the right to claim martial law for a medical emergency? I'm hoping it pulls it up. And see, Google is actually censoring your searches. Again, let me show y'all the real deal. Do you realize that Google is government controlled? Even though Jeff Bezos owns it, Google is government controlled, meaning that the government controls the content of what you see. Now, Google is one of the biggest search engines on the planet, but Google will only show you 30% of what's actually out there on the web. You have to go to the dark web or the deep web really to see what's really going on. Google is one of the main tools of censorship that they use. Because if you try to find certain subjects, Google can bury it under their algorithms to the point, you know why I say page 1 of 150,000? Well, the real answers that you're looking for is going to be way down there in the bottom part of that 150,000. They're only going to put out information or allow searches that goes along and agrees with the government narrative. And we know that our government lies to us at any given time. I'm trying to find what case been doing President State of Union Emergency. Martial law definition. Martial law. What is martial law? Martial law definition of fake viral text messages spread rumors saying martial law is coming. They're trying to tell you that um, all these military platoons or military agencies are just practicing here in the United States. But why would they be practicing for something unless they were actually preparing for that same event that they're practicing for? I'm not going to say that I do believe 100% that martial law is going to come, but they're going to, basically, this is what I think they're going to do. They're going to, under the guise of helping us get through this episode of coronavirus, they're going to implement a soft version of martial law. Think about this. In California and New York right now, the governors of both of those states have issued a mandatory quarantine, a lockdown. You're seeing martial law being implemented in a soft manner as we go along through this coronavirus. And basically, how do you get a group of people to go along with something like this? You have to scare them. You have to basically put enough fear into them where you will want them to say, okay, the government is telling us we better quarantine ourselves. And they put enough fear tactics, scare tactics out there, whereas they don't have to force it on you. You're going to voluntarily accept it yourself because now you're so scared. Although we do believe that this virus is very serious, they're coming out with scare tactics, which will basically force you to accept the measures that they're putting in place, which basically is restricting more and more of your freedom, i.e. your freedom of information, because they're trying to control what information is getting out there, i.e. Facebook blocking your accounts when you mention COVID-19, i.e. Google censoring your research when you try to find out where did this virus really originate. Google is going to always point to China as the ground zero, or where this virus is supposed to have originated. But we all know that that is not true. If you do your real research, you'll realize that this virus originated here in the United States and Canada, over here in the Northern Hemisphere, and was exported to China. Notice that the three countries that the United States got the biggest beef right now with, China, Iran, and Italy, these countries got more deaths and more cases of the virus than anybody else. And what they're doing to Iran, let me digress for a second. Yeah, what they're doing to Iran is so, I'm talking about, man, it is so bad. Now, you got to realize, Iran right now is under sanctions, under the United States. Iran is basically at a point right now, they are having and experiencing more deaths than any other country due to this virus, and it's because of the sanctions that the United States has on the country of Iran. Believe it or not, the United States is so evil and so sadistic that they know that people are dying. They say right now in Iran, you got one person dying every 10 minutes behind this virus. And due to the sanctions brought upon Iran by the United States, guess what? They can't get ventilators. They cannot get respirators. They cannot get medicines. They cannot get the basic necessities that they need to fight this virus. So basically, your government here in the United States is committing flat out full scale murder in Iran by not easing the sanctions. If you really wanted to be a benevolent government, wouldn't you help a country right now who's experiencing more deaths than any other country on the planet right now? Wouldn't you want to help those innocent people in Iran by allowing medication, by allowing masks, by allowing ventilation systems and respirators to enter into the country? But no. What did the United States do just Thursday? They increased their sanctions on Iran. What sanctions does not really so much hurt the government, it hurts the regular people of that country. Also, Venezuela is finna start seeing a surge in cases. Because again, Venezuela is the second most sanctioned country by America. And they're going to try to deny the people of Venezuela the basic necessities that they need to help fight the virus in that country. Yes, sir. Iran, like when my brother said that this country deserves what it gets. I don't think the people do. We as the American people don't deserve it, but our elected officials, I'm gonna be real. They're nothing more than war criminals, y'all. Our elected officials are participating in atrocities that amount to war crimes. When you look at what they're doing to Iran, and basically they're trying to help facilitate the spread of that virus in Iran so that the Iranian people can get mad enough and rise up and overthrow their country so that the United States government can stick a puppet government into Iran and basically steal their oil using this virus. So again, we talking about how this government is using this virus to facilitate their colonialism. You know what I'm saying? Our government is known to conduct biological warfare throughout history, going back to when the Spanish came over here, and Christopher Columbus used syphilis to destroy the enemies. Destroy the Indians. The natives that was already here was destroyed when Christopher Columbus gave the Indians who were already here blankets laced with syphilis. So it is a pattern that the United States government has as far as conducting biological warfare against its own people and other countries. So again, it leads us to ask this question. Hold on, I'm trying to read some more of you all comments. Dallas Fontaine say, how dangerous is the virus? It seems that more people are just going about their life as well. This virus is very dangerous in a sense that it's basically killing a lot of people who are elderly and have compromised immune systems. People who have respiratory problems. People, again, elderly people who have respiratory problems are more susceptible to die from this virus. Now, I'm going to show y'all what a virus is really going to take off and spread is amongst our youth. Our youth, young people already think they're invincible. And you have a group of young people here in America that don't take it serious because most of us parents don't take it serious. But what happens is like when your children or your young adults get out here and disregard the fact that they might be carrying the virus. They might be healthy in a sense, might seem healthy, but they are carrying this virus. Anytime they congregate together, the virus is spreading. Now these young people go home and they might spread it to their grandmother. They might spread it to, one of their relatives who has high blood pressure, who has bronchitis. These are the people who are more susceptible to get really ill. Now this virus is deadly serious, y'all, because just here in Louisiana alone, this time last week, we were barely hearing about cases inside our state. This time last week, we probably had maybe 2 reported cases. Now we up to almost 400, close to 500 cases. So the virus is very contagious. It is very dangerous, again, for elderly because most of the people who are dying are elderly. Although now we're seeing that middle-aged people are starting to die from this virus. So yes, this virus is very deadly. It's very serious. Anthony Watson say the Patriot Act. Yeah, the Patriot Act is what they enacted under 9/11, which they were saying in order to protect you all from those folks way fuck overseas, 5,000 miles over in the desert. We got to take away your rights. We here in America, we got to start surveilling your phone call. We got to start scanning your emails and your text messages. Let me ask y'all a question though. Now this basically on terrorism. How is it that a bunch of people way the fuck over in Afghanistan that don't even have running water, don't even have electricity, half of them don't even have a bicycle for day-to-day transportation? How are those folks a threat to us here in America? You see what I'm saying? They use situations like 9/11 and this virus to basically scare you into saying, well, we need our government to protect us. We don't care if you're going to start searching our emails even harder. We don't care if you're going to put a camera on every corner to watch our move. We scared, boss. We so scared. We want you to basically take away our individual rights. Now think about it. America's supposed to be the most freest country on the face of the planet, but here we are right now today. You can't even get on Facebook and express your opinion about the COVID-19 virus. Who knows? YouTube might come along and block this video. You know what I'm saying? Just because we're talking about COVID in a way that's not, I guess say, in compliance with the government narrative. The government, again, wants you, the United States government wants you to believe that this virus started in China. But in reality, we believe that this virus was originated here and was exported to China in order to basically destroy the Chinese economy. Now, we can also look at Agenda 21, which is population control. And we can see how this could easily be used by those people, those eugenicists who say that there are too many people on the face of the earth. And they can deny health care and medical supplies needed to fight the viruses in other countries. The United States government has the power to put sanctions on nations that will keep them from getting masks. You know what I'm saying? Respirators to help people who already got the disease breathe. Or ventilators to help people keep their lungs open, because again, this virus affects your respiratory system. So again, we need to keep on with your comments. This nation deserves everything. Okay, I'm seeing this here. I don't want to learn more. But anyway, you all got any questions you all want to ask me, man? Because again, y'all know me. I don't like to just keep, talking without having a good subject matter. What else did we say we was going to talk about in this video? Because, again, we already talked about censorship. But let's go back to Bible prophecy. If you're a Bible-believing person, do y'all think that this is the last days? Because, again, they've been saying this last days for the, last 2,000 years. But I do agree with the people who believe in the Bible and other prophetic scripture that we are witnessing a perilous time in world history, to the point where when they talk about wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, famine and pestilence, we've always seen these things happen over the centuries, but we've never seen them happen like they're happening right now. They're all coming together to form a perfect storm, whereas if the Bible was to be believed, 1/4 of mankind is supposed to die by war. Well, we're seeing war all across the planet. You're seeing 1/4 supposed to die by famine. Well, with the plague of locusts, you're going to see a famine in Africa such that we have never seen in modern time, where tens of millions upon millions of people are going to die from starvation. And then you say 1/4 was going to die by pestilence, which are diseases. So, So we can see how those people who are diehard Bible thumpers have a legitimate point. We are witnessing perilous times here, y'all, with all the wars going on, with all the famine, the starvation going on, and with all the diseases. Because again, this virus, unlike the flu virus, has literally shut the world down and is bringing the United States economy to its knees. This virus, again, going back to martial law, I'm not saying that they are right now finna put tanks on every major corner and basically tell us we cannot leave outside our house. But as you can see, they're starting to deploy the National Guard throughout the United States, and places, whole states like California, which got 46 million people in California, are under lockdown right now. You look at San Francisco, the streets of San Francisco are empty. You look at New York, they are literally trying to enforce a citywide quarantine lockdown in New York. Here in Louisiana, they haven't done it yet, but we're starting to see National Guard troops positioning themselves all throughout our city, especially here in Shreveport. Something is coming, y'all, and whether it's man-made and manufactured or it's natural, We need to prepare ourselves. So I'm not gonna really hold y'all up. I know y'all enjoying y'all Saturday, man. I really need you all to help us, by hitting the like button, sharing these videos. Most importantly, I need you all feedback because again, I don't have a script, so I get to talking, man. Sometimes I get to rambling and jumping from subject to subject, but you all's questions and comments help me stay on point. And if I can answer any question that you all have, hey, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do. So without if we don't have any more questions on live, I'm gonna try to do a couple of more videos because I got to try to get something taken care of today. Oh, by the way, we was not able to make that goal that we needed the other day, man. It's I'm not gonna put all my business out there, but yeah, there's a utility here that they actually cut off on us, and we trying to get that up and run. So y'all notice I put that cash tag to our cash up, man. We really do need some help because here in Louisiana, they're shutting everything down in our city. You know what I'm saying? And it's to the point, man, where they're actually restricting our movement. So I can't even get out there and do the work that I normally would do to help to provide for my son and I. So again, if y'all feel led, man, cash out for us. Lawrence Mobile, 1% again. Oh, that's my son's phone right there. Y'all forgive me. Salute. But we really do need y'all help. Now I thank you. A couple of you all made a contribution, man, and it put us, I just say 1/4 of the way that we need to go, but that's still a great need. So again, if y'all see the cash tag up there in the first comment, and I'm gonna put it in the description section, y'all can help us. Please do, man, because we need to try to get this here back on and up and running before Monday. But again, we thank y'all for y'all support, man. We thank y'all for the love. I like to believe that we have some of the best subscribers on the planet. Because the people who subscribe to our channel, if nothing else, they're looking for truth. Most people that subscribe to our channel on YouTube or follow us on Facebook, they don't believe the government narrative. And I always tell our followers and our subscribers to always ask questions. We know that our government uses the mainstream media to lie to us on a daily basis. My whole point is that I'm not always right, but I'm definitely not always wrong. 90% of the time, if you ask anybody that's been following us over the last 6 years, even when they say something that I say is basically a conspiracy theory, they always come back weeks later and say, man, you were right. And the only reason why I'm right is not because I'm some genius, it's because I ask questions. I don't let a bunch of people who I know are liars tell me something without questioning. They say numbers don't lie. That's bullshit. What if the people who are giving you the numbers are liars? There's a lot more going on with this coronavirus that we're not being told. And that's why I come in. Freeport Coronas separates wife and husband. I'm getting notifications as I speak, y'all. I got a lot of local notifications that comes up, and they tell us, Dwayne, well said, sir, salute. Thank you, my brother. I mean, that's just the truth, man. They say that numbers don't lie, but if the people who are giving you the numbers are liars, they can come up with any number they want because they're doing research based off biased information. So what we try to do is at least put a different narrative out there for you to ask questions, and we try to bring forth the questions that you should ask. Now, I got to get out here, man, and go, the little man want me to come out there and play football. Oh, another thing. I did a video earlier this week. Parents, while your children are out for school, man, most cases, they're canceling school for the rest of the year. Keep an eye on your kids, man. Do not let your kids run wild in these streets, man. Already right now, we are having incidents here in Freeport where children are running around here stealing. Children are running around here shooting each other, getting into fights because there's really no discipline being taught in the home. And now that you have some parents who still might be able to work because they are shutting all the jobs down here in Freeport. Again, they didn't close all the casinos here in Freeport. So you know it's serious. But they're shutting down pretty much everything in our city, meaning that your children in a lot of cases are running wild in the streets. Please, parents, control your kids. Because just the other day, like I say, you had a bunch of 9, 10-year-olds in my backyard stealing my son's bike. You see what I'm saying? That ain't got shit to do with the school system. That's a lack of parenting. That's bad parenting. You see what I'm saying? Now guess what? If your kid get caught in somebody's backyard and get shot, it's not the homeowner's fault for shooting your child. It's your fault for not instructing your child and disciplining your child and teaching your child morals and values. So during this time of shutdown, please, parents, watch your children, man. Do not let them run out here like wild savages, because somebody's going to deal with your child. And then as soon as your child get caught in somebody's backyard stealing and get shot, first thing mama going to be doing all on the news, my baby didn't bother nobody, my poor baby. And I'm like, no, ma'am, your baby was a fucking menace to the whole neighborhood. I'm sad that he got shot, but whose fault is it really that he got shot? Shouldn't you have taught your child not to go in somebody's yard and steal? So, hey, keep an eye on your children during this time, man, because they got nothing but time on their hands right now. And a lot of us, since we are not able to go out and do no work, should be responsible enough to make sure that our kids are not out in these streets stealing or fighting or causing all kinds of other chaos and havoc. So please, parents, once again, watch your children during this time of isolation and quarantine. Well, hey, again, y'all, we thank y'all for watching this video. And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna start coming back, and I'm gonna start scripting some of these videos so that I can be a little bit more coherent. Because again, it seems like I be jumping from place to place, but that's because I don't do a script. I rather keep my videos organic, meaning that I rather keep them real and raw. And anytime you start writing stuff down, you know, it kind of hinders the flow of the show. So we thank y'all for all y'all support. Again, hit the like and then share these videos with your family and friends. Don't take none of their shots. Exactly. I'm gonna go ahead back to that. Wayne say, don't take none of their shots. Cause think about it. If they they rush a vaccine through or an experimental medication, that's just what it is. An experimental medication, and they're going to use you as the guinea pig. I don't believe in a lot of these vaccinations anyway, because a lot of these vaccinations are causing autism in our children at a rate of 1 in every 30 kids right now are coming down. Well, now 1 in every 4 kids who get vaccination are suffering from autism. So again, we got to watch. Let me say this before I go. Who stands to benefit the most from this virus? The pharmaceutical companies. Because the pharmaceutical companies are going to rush through some old, probably dangerous ass vaccine. And I believe they're going to eventually use the military to force down and force everybody in this country to take this vaccination that they're about to implement. And who knows what this vaccination is. Notice that the flu virus, with the flu virus and the flu shots, more people get sick and die. Who take the shot than the people who don't take the shot. Because when they inoculate you with one of these so-called vaccinations, they're actually shooting you up with the same virus that they're hoping to cure you from. So yeah, y'all be careful on that. But hey, once again, hit that like button, man. Hit the subscribe button if you ain't a subscriber to our channel. Also, share this video. And we're going to keep bringing y'all more and more real-time relevant information. Information that you can use. But until we do, always ask questions. And again, we definitely can use you all's help, man. We did a special video the other day where we asked for some financial help, and a couple of you all came through. And again, I'm not going to do another video because I don't like begging nobody. But right now, they say closed mouths don't get fed. Yeah, me and my son, we really need that help. So if you all can, again, the hashtag is up at the top. I'll put it, matter of fact, I'll put it down here again. But y'all bless us and help us out. You know, and that way I can keep focused on what we need to do as far as bringing y'all information. Because right now I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this certain thing taken care of before Monday, so I can get my utility back up and running. So until y'all hear my voice on another one of these videos, please support us through sharing, liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel and our videos. And also, you can donate $3, $4 to our Cash App. Please do. Till y'all see us on another one of these videos, y'all be blessed.